Hello everyone, welcome back to my shooting guide where we take a look at the armor layouts of all the tanks in World of Tanks. Today we're going to be starting the American Heavy line, starting off with the T1 Heavy at Tier 5. T1 Heavy is kind of a heavy tank. It's just as heavy as IS-3 I believe, and it's not that slow. But armor wise, on the whole, only 83 millimeters of armor, 44 on the sides, and 41 on the rear. This could give some problems to some lower tier tanks that it could see, but for the most part, this armor is kind of useless. On paper, that is. The turret, let's go see what the upgraded turret looks like. 102 millimeters in the front, 83 on the sides and the rear. So it's the same as the stock turret. You just get better. Actually, no, that's not even better traverse speed. Well, you get the gun. That's what you get. Anyways, sticking to the armor, let's go take a look at it in Tank Inspector. The T1 Heavy at Tier 5 has okay armor. If you shoot too down low though, you're going to have major problems. As you can see, Ricochet, 180 millimeters of armor. Nobody at Tier 5 has that with standard ammo as far as I know. As you move up though, it goes down to about 100. 110 effective armor, even though it's only 70 up front. As you can see as we go up, all along here, it's really weak. Show some colors here. There's just not much there. But for low tier tanks, it's a lot. Only 70 millimeters of armor right here. Looks like this does have a little weak spot. It's going to be hard to hit though. Other than that, it's pretty much 80s, 83 all around here. It gets bumped up over here because it's angled. So if you for sure want to penetrate this tank, you're going to have to shoot at this plate right here. Preferably right here. It looks like a machine gun. Yep, this machine gun port. That's going to be your best chance. It's flat, only 70 millimeters. Anywhere else you're looking at roughly 100 needed to go through, depending on the angle. As for the turret, it's pretty flat if you hit it square on, but as you move down, it gets really stronger. 160s as you move up, it gets stronger again. 120s. So if you're looking to penetrate the turret, try to shoot as the flattest area as you can. You're probably not going to be able to hit anything on top. And if you can, shoot at this side right here, only 83. But if you're looking at a T1 Heavy from the front, definitely shoot at this machine gun port. As for the sides, all along here, it's 44 millimeters. Looks like we have had a weak spot. Let's get the colors. Yeah, you're not really going to hit that weak spot, but if you can, go for it. It's all along here. 50 millimeters penetration will do it. No problem. Side of the turret, you're going to need, again, 80s, 90s. But definitely go for this side. It's pretty weak. Your low tiers can penetrate that as long as they know what they're really doing. The tracks, you're going to need over 100, probably 120 and up. So if you really just shoot for the actual side right here, that'll be your best bet. It's very weak there. The rear, it's the same story as the sides. Very weak, no problem. don't even try shoot. Well, if you've got enough penetration for sure, you can shoot at the turret, but definitely just shoot down here. Only 40. If you go down farther, you're going to need 70 plus. Up here, you only need 40. 41, sorry. And you'll be good. So that's about it for the T1 Heavy. Let's move on to the next tank. Next up at Tier 6, we have the mighty M6. It looks very similar to its predecessor, the T1 Heavy, except that it gets an armor boost on the hull. In the front, that is. 102 millimeters in the front, 44 on the sides, 41 on the rear, just like the T1 Heavy. And the turret, same thing as the T1 Heavy, 102 on the front, 83 on the sides and the rear. Now, the front armor of this, while it's not much on paper, it can be really trollish sometimes, as we're about to find out. Alright, here is the M6 and Tank Inspector. Looking at the front, it's got decent armor. As you move down here, 160s are you're going to need because of the angle it's at. Otherwise, going up here, it's going to be even tougher. 190s if you shoot at the top because it is very well angled. You can get some troll shots in there. You can bounce shots from KV-1Ss. So, at the hull, shoot as far down as you can without going to the lower plate because it does get significantly stronger. Looking at the top here, just like with the M6, this machine gun is a weak spot. But if you go too high, go too low, you're going to go back up to normal armor. Other than that, you can shoot right there, you'll be fine. And looks like these little boxes are weak spots. Good luck hitting them though, because they're really small. Other than that, it varies depending on which angle. It's 83 millimeters of armor here, but you can see upwards of 100, 115-ish. As for the turret, it's pretty much the same thing as T1 Heavy. Shoot too far down, you'll have problems. If you shoot too far up, you may have problems depending on what tier your tank is. So just try to shoot as, I guess that's kind of perpendicular with the gun as you can. For the sides, it's pretty much the same as the T1 Heavy. You got right here, that's very weak. You only need 44 to penetrate it. Some areas are stronger depending on the angle you're at. But anything above 50 millimeters should be good to go. For the tracks, you're looking about 116, 115. So I'd say anything with 120 and up, you should be good shooting at the tracks. But why would you shoot at the tracks if you can shoot right here? Guaranteed penetrating hit. And for the turret, again, it's in the 80s, 90s. It is weak right up here. So if you are a low tier tank and you can shoot up there, go ahead. It's only 25 millimeters up there. We'll turn on colors again so you can see this little part right here. May be hard to hit because low tiers you do have pretty awful accuracy, but if you can, go for that. For the rear, again, kind of the same as the T1 Heavy. It's weak. Pretty much 40s all around, no problem. If you have 50 and up, you'll be fine. And for the turret, 80s, 90s, so 100 and up, you should definitely be good shooting at the back of the turret. But if you want guaranteed penetration, shoot at the bottom. You'll be good to go. Alright, let's move on to our last tank for today. And last up today that we're going to look at Tier 7, we have the T29. Arguably one of the best heavy tanks at Tier 7. The whole armor, the front, same as the M6, only 102 millimeters. Sides, you're looking at 76, and the rear is 51. Now the main selling point of this tank is the turret. 279 millimeters of penetration in the front, 127 on the sides, and 101 at the rear. Looking up the upgraded one, it's pretty much the same, except you get 1 extra millimeter on the rear. Let's go take a look at this mighty beast in Tank Inspector. Alright, the T-29. Is the turret armor really as good as it says on paper? We'll find out. Let's start with the hull. Lower plate, the farther you go down, the harder it is going to be to penetrate, but upper plate's going to be a little bit stronger too, so you want to shoot at as close as where the plates connect as you can if you're having problems penetrating. Looks like around the machine gun is weak, but the machine gun is not. So if you have really good accuracy, you can maybe hit it. It's only 70 millimeters, but if you can, try shooting at that. The hull, it only says 102 on paper, but it's very well angled. You can get upwards of, well, right there it's 250. That's quite a bit. Oh, because that's an angled spot. You can get up to 162, 160s it looks like. And if you're angled just like that, you can get into the 200s. So the hull on paper doesn't have much, but when you factor in angles, it can be quite a bit. Now let's look at this mighty turret. Just want to start off with these boxes on the side. Please never shoot at them. You can penetrate them all day long. You won't do any damage to the tank. I see so many people trying to shoot at these thinking they're going to do damage. Apparently they haven't seen any videos. Or they just don't learn. They will not do any damage. It's pointless. Shooting up here at that hatch, it's the same as the hull, only 102 millimeters. But it is hard to hit and kind of well angled, so if your shot just goes a little bit low, ricochet. If you hit it, manage to hit it, you're going to need quite a bit of penetration. Probably in the 170, so 175, 180-ish or more is what you're going to need to go through that. Unless you get very, very lucky. And for the turret, yeah. Spaced armor on the front, 279. Move up just a little bit. You got spaced armor and armor behind that. 745 armor in the game. That's the highest in the game. You're going to need a pretty big gun if you want to get through any of this. If you do have 279, like if you're a tier 10 tank destroyer, I don't know why you would be seeing a T-29. But if you do, you can penetrate this, but you have to shoot where it's perpendicular again to the gun. That's where you're no armor, only spaced armor. Now that the cheeks, those aren't much better. Ricochet 260s. So yeah, if you're facing a hold down T-29, I would turn around and go find something else to shoot at. You're not gonna get through this. You may get lucky with the turret, the cupola at the top, but chances are you're not gonna do anything. So that's why you need to be very careful and not get into situations like that. For the sides, weakest is in the back. Only 50 millimeters of armor. Not much at all. If you add the tracks in, only about 100. No problem back there. It gets stronger as you go up to the front. You have a 75-ish. So if you are a tier 5 and you have problems penetrating stuff, shoot at the back portion of the tank. The max you'll need is about 100-ish. But if you're shooting at the front, you'll need about 120. That's max if you're shooting at the tracks. You could also shoot down here. It's the same story. But pretty much where this indent starts is when it gets weak. So that's how you tell. For the side of the turret, not bad. 130s. Again, don't shoot there. You can, I guess, from this angle. You might be able to do some damage, but there's also a chance that you won't. If you aim too high, you got a ricochet, stuff like that. You can shoot at the side, the back. Looks like the best is going to be in the back here, up front. But if you're shooting down here, you're going to have problems because of the angle it's at. I'll show you guys that. It's angled down, as you can see. So you may have problems with that. You can also try shooting at the cupola again, but it'll be tough. At the back, you shouldn't have too many problems. Shoot at the hole, no problem. 50 millimeters, that's all you need. For the back of the turret, about 100, 105, so I'd say about 115 or more. Do not shoot down here. Don't shoot on those. Don't shoot right there. That's just, you're just asking for a bounce. If you see the back of a T-29, just shoot down here. No problem. You'll penetrate for sure, unless you're in like a troll platoon or something with tier 1s or tier 2s. Then you may have problems. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you can see more videos like this in the future. And next video we're going to be finishing up the American Heavy line. Well, until then, we'll see you guys later. If you shoot too down low though, you're going to have major problems. As you can see, ricochet, 180 millimeters of armor. Nobody at tier 5 has that with standard ammo as far as I know. As you move up though, it goes down to about 100. 110 effective armor, even though it's only 70 up front. As you can see, as we go up, all along here, it's really weak. Show some colors here. There's just not much there. But for low tier tanks, it's a lot. Only 70 millimeters of armor right here. Looks like this does have a little weak spot. It's going to be hard to hit though. Other than that, it's pretty much... But armor wise, on the whole, only 83 millimeters of armor, 44 on the sides, and 41 on the rear. This could give some problems to some lower tier tanks that it could see, but for the most part, this armor is kind of useless. On paper, that is. The turret, let's go see what the upgraded turret looks like. 102. Hello everyone, welcome back to my shooting guide, where we take a look at the armor layouts of all the tanks in World of Tanks. Today we're going to be starting the American Heavy line, starting off with the T1 Heavy at tier 5. T1 Heavy is kind of a heavy tank. It's just as heavy as IS-3, I believe, and it's not that slow. 2 millimeters in the front, 83 on the sides and the rear. So it's the same as the stock turret. You just get better... Actually, no, that's not even better traverse speed. Well, you get the gun. That's what you get. Anyways, sticking to the armor, let's go take a look at it in Tank Inspector. The T1 Heavy at tier 5 has okay armor.